How you doing?
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 How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
And now, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo with the Sicilian Corner.
Our good friend and sidekick in crime, Tommy, on his way driving back from Florida. And the last time I heard Al, he just crossed over the Florida border. So he's making terrific. The wind must be blowing at his back because he left yesterday morning at 9. It took him the whole day to get across the state. He should be here maybe by next Friday.
He's
driving.
right? With a horse?
Yeah, really. Hey, listen, everybody. I want to introduce you to a very, very good friend of mine. He's been on the show before with us. I can't say enough good things about him. I refer to him as my brother, and I mean that sincerely. Al Letizio, welcome to the Sicilian Corner, my friend.
Thank you, Mike. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I'm looking at your background, and I know you're very proud of your family's history. And I see your granddad in that picture, and that's really nice. You guys had a store in Lawrence?
Yes, our family had a market in Lawrence, Mass. that goes all the way back to 1912. My grandfather is over my shoulder over here.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, he and I are about the same size. So watch your step there, buddy.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think that's nice.
Our family's been in the business for, now 5 generations now in the food business. So I'm very proud of that.
Why don't you tell the folks exactly what you do here in Windham, New Hampshire, where your office building is located? Beautiful office building.
So what I do professionally, or we're just...
Yeah. You know what I mean.
So I'm the CEO of AJ Letizio Sales and Marketing. We are a wholesale food sales and marketing agency. We represent food companies and sell products to the supermarket and restaurant industry in the Eastern United States. So from our facility here in Windham, which is our national headquarters, we operate some other satellite offices in the Eastern U.S. And we sell probably a little bit more than a couple million pounds of food per day into the food industry.
That's unbelievable. Just want to say good morning to Mike. Mike Licciardi is saying hello. And Al, I have a treat for you right now.
Oh, good.
We're going to bring in the rose among the thorns.
Oh, beautiful.
And by that, I mean, we're going to introduce to our listening audience and Facebook audience, Dr. Suzanne Sandin. And Doc, how are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Boy, look at her. I got a pair of shoes older than you. I really do. I really do. I want to thank you once again for taking the time out to join us here. And I've known you for a long time. I've known your family for a long time. I saw you when you were under 10 pounds. And I know how proud your dad and mother were of you. And I wish your dad was still with us right now to see what his little girl has turned out to be. And I'm very, very proud of you also. You're a primary physician. You work out of Andover Primary. What else? You're a teacher. You're a doctor of obesity. You've got a degree in that. Boy, you've got it kind of covered all over the place.
Yes, so I'm a primary care doctor. I recently moved my practice to join Andover Primary Care in Andover. So my first love, my main love is being a primary care doctor. And then I became interested in also integrating bariatric medicine or weight management medicine. So right before COVID, I took another board exam to get certified in bariatric medicine as well. So now I really enjoy integrating that into my primary care practice.
This, given what's been going on with COVID, the fact that we really have not been able to do much outside, things are starting to loosen up a little bit now, but it seems like the numbers continue to go up. Where do you foresee this? Where will it end? Do you have? What's a gut feeling?
That's the question of the hour, right, for the past year. I think that we are in a very hopeful place with COVID. The science behind the vaccines and the availability of the vaccines in our country are the most likely endpoint that I can see. We talk about the herd immunity, and we're on the path to achieving that herd immunity through the vaccines. We were hoping that this was the place we could get to. We rather see the herd immune by vaccination rather than natural infection. The big question that I keep thinking about on the daily basis is, what's the end point for the masking? When will that be able to be loosened up? And I think we don't know yet, to be honest. Right now, the definite focus is rolling out the vaccines to the main public.
Al, do you have a question for Dr. Suzanne?
Well, I was going to say, you and I have done a little bit of work with the obesity patients, but I think it's more with Mike and I.
Hey, be nice. One thing, Dr. Suzanne, I have to say.
You don't even let me finish, Mike.
Wait a minute. I just wanted, now I'm getting like Tommy Zappler.
You're very defensive.
All right. Finish your question first. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you are at Michael Corleone's place in Tahoe, I see. Or is that the Lomazo estate? I see.
Come on, Gandhi.
Piano in the background. No, we've worked really getting people to start with the obesity, with the food love that we have. And, I think it's a symbiotic relationship. Without our contribution to this effort, Dr. Suzanne would have no patients. Hey, look,
so we're helping her.
Work together here.
So we're helping her.
Right.
Job security for the Merrimack Valley.
The one thing I have to say about carrying extra weight, it pulls the wrinkles out of your face down to your stomach. So you look a little bit younger. Look at you. You don't have a wrinkle in your face. It's there for a reason. It goes down to the panza. The panza pulls all the wrinkles down. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Hey, Mike, with the Italian culture and Italian people, and this is actually a very, serious topic, but, food is an expression of love, whether it's a mealtime or some of the special times that we've gotten together to make the Italian sausage or make the sopressata or the coppa. It's always not about what we're going to make and then shove in our mouths ourselves to eat, but it's what we're going to make and give to our family, give to our friends. So we're spreading the love.
Well, something, I have to agree with you. And of course, everything that we make at your facility, it's all low cholesterol, right? Supersada, sausage.
Yeah.
What are you kidding me? Dr. Suzanne, if someone wanted to, what's involved in, if you were a primary doctor who is getting ready to retire, what is the steps involved, like, to try and change primary? Say I want to come to you.
So the first step is to call your insurance company and make sure, if you wanted to come to me, you would call your insurance and say, is Dr. Sandin in my network?
Okay.
That's step one. Most of us as primary care doctors have really broad insurance networks, but depending on your plan, there can be certain smaller limitations. Step two is to ask your old doctor to send your medical records to the new location, so that way that history is not lost prior to the doctor retiring. And then step three is to call and make an appointment. And nothing has to be wrong to make that appointment. You can call and ask for an appointment just to establish care as part of a new practice. And that can be a really nice appointment for us to get to know each other.
I'm happy because in hearing this and speaking to Dr. Suzanne, I've already been emailing my primary dietary advisors, I'd say, and asking them to forward the records over. So I sent something to Dr. Belgioso Parmigiano, who I think you know, out of Green Bay, in the Fratelli Beretta practice.
Oh, I know him.
Dr. Giovanni Rana, they've been my advisors to get me where I am today. So they're happy to share the documents and the records with you. So,
your medical degrees, Dr. Suzanne. What's your background?
So I grew up in southern New Hampshire, and I went to the public school system through Derry, New Hampshire. Then I went to Holy Cross for my undergrad. I degree. I took a few years off before I went to medical school.
Mhm.
During that time, I worked at Mass General. I worked in an AIDS research lab. And
wow.
and then I went to medical school in Chicago at Midwestern University. It's called the Chicago College of Osteopathic Medicine. While I was out there, I really loved my time in Chicago. It was a wonderful educational experience, a great place to live. I miss it, but I knew the Merrimack Valley is home to me. It's where my family is. It's where my friends are. If you're from here, it's hard to explain it, but there's something about when you're here, you just know this is home. So I only applied to residency programs back home. So I said, I love you, Chicago. I'll miss you. I'll come back to visit, but I'm going back home. And I did my residency at St. Elizabeth's in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And that's where I really learned how to become a primary care doctor. It was a great experience, a great learning as a young doctor. And it's where I took my first job. Then my husband and I bought a house in Andover, and we have a family, and our roots are planted here. So I decided to relocate my practice to be nearby, close to home. So that's where I am now.
Well, I want to say hello to Nancy. Nancy is saying good morning. Barbara is saying good morning. If anybody has any question or you want to type it in on your Facebook, we'll try to bring it up and see if Dr. Suzanne can answer that question for you. The United States and Mexico are the top two countries for obesity. The reason that you can see that flashes at you, that hits you in the head, what is so wrong with the United States?
So it's many factors added together, where we're seeing the increase in obesity, and really 70% of America is overweight or obese. So
How much?
70% of Americans are at least overweight, if not obese. So there's a lot to be said about the good aspects of our culture, but there's definitely some part of our culture that is promoting this weight gain. The quality of the food we eat has a lot to do with it. It's not just what we eat, it's is our food processed or not processed. Certainly portion size has a very big role in weight gain.
Did you hear that, Al? Did you hear that?
Mike,
Portion size.
I've done
Not
a
the
little
Hungry
bit of
Man
research
special.
I've done a little
Portion size.
research here, and this is the thing that's interesting. I have a theory here, and I've been very excited, Dr. Suzanne, to ask you if this has some veracity as a scientist. I'm
Tell
asking.
me your theory.
So here's what I'm thinking. I have to refer to my notes here.
I can't wait for this.
I have no. Listen, I mean, I think you're right with the United States being right up there. I think 33% actually obese in the United States. The UK, 27%. France, almost 24%. But Italy, only 21% in Italy. Now, I have a theory. Okay, so they say this is the Mediterranean diet. That this is what it's all about. That Italians eat very differently. But I got a thought here. I think when the Italians came over here, there was a big migration. Did all the big eaters come over here and they left the skinny ones back there? I mean, could that have contributed to the problem? Because I'm thinking that is something needs to be researched.
Yeah. Hey, David.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you have any questions for Dr. Suzanne? I want you included in our little conversation.
I actually do. For people that are getting the second vaccination, should people be notifying their PCP that they did get this vaccination? Would that be helpful for them?
So I am keeping track of that. So I appreciate all of the little FYIs, and I'm putting it into the medical record. So absolutely.
Okay.
There's nothing you can't really overshare with your primary care doctor.
Yeah.
So if you think you should tell me, just tell me.
Perfect.
Okay, Al, I thought I was going to agree with your with your theory. I was like right on track. I'm like, I like where this is going.
I crashed at the end, though, didn't I?
You crashed at the end. I can't validate that.
I'm trying to figure it out.
But honestly, the Mediterranean diet, there is absolutely something scientific there. I get a lot of questions from people about which diet is best, which diet should I eat, and there's so many fad diets and different theories about I'm going to eat this way, I'm going to eat that way. So I've done a lot of research to help answer that question, and there actually is an answer out there. Which diet is best for sustained weight loss, and which diet is going to help prevent heart attacks and strokes? And the answer is the Mediterranean diet.
All right, Mike.
Well, you know something, you're onto something.
This is the thing
We're going to get into that, Al. We're going to get into that a little bit more. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. Your next door neighbor, Al, by the way, Peter Chappelli, says people need to eat more tomatoes. If people eat more tomatoes, they'll lose weight. That's what his.
And now he's with the olive oil. He's commenting over here
with the olive oil too. And when we get back, we have one of our listeners, Barbara, who is very dear to me and one of your patients, asking about osteopathic medicine.
Mike, I think that's a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to take a quick break, folks, so we'll be back. And if you have any questions at all for Dr. Suzanne, just type us in, and we'll try to bring them up as many as possible. We'll be right back, everybody.
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine each pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State inspection station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
And we are back. And our guest, Dr. Suzanne Sandin of Andover Primary Care. When we took our break, the question by Barbara was, what exactly is osteopathic medicine? And could you answer that question?
Sure. So there's two types of medical schools in America. One is called allopathic and one is called osteopathic. The allopathic gives you the MD after your last name. The osteopathic gives you a DO after your last name. Oh. So both of them teach evidence-based medicine. We take the same exams. We can do the same residency programs. When medical schools first developed, was different mentalities about how to teach medicine. The osteopathic foundation was treating patients as a whole patient. So if you came to me and said, I have a headache, I don't just treat your headache. I think about all the different reasons why you could have a headache. What's the nervous system, emotional system, diet, nutritional deficiencies. So the medicine that we are taught at the end of the day is the same. But kind of the sentiment behind how you look at a patient and treat a patient is regarding the patient as a whole.
Oh, okay. Well, Al, you have a question?
No, you
don't.
I'm going back to this. Going back to this the Mediterranean diet thing. I can't get it out of my head, and this is serious now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
See, no. What I was going to say, this is a serious question for Dr. Suzanne. I know the Italians, when we refer to that Mediterranean diet being something that is truly something that is a positive influencer, it seems like it's diametrically opposed to everything that we're hearing right now, which seems like it's always about more protein and cut back on the carbs. But from everything that I'm reading and everything that I see in practice, it seems like the Italian diet, a lot of those calories, about 50% of those calories are coming from carbs. They're eating pasta every day, nice quality breads, everything like that. And then, the next portion of the diet seems to be coming from unsaturated fats like olive oils and fish for about 30%. And then the rest is a very small percentage is coming from the protein. It seems like it's upside down from over here.
Al, you're right. You are right. So you're right.
Joking over here, right?
One. You got one.
So your breakdown is right. I think what can't be emphasized enough is that the Mediterranean diet is not a diet. It is a lifestyle switch that's modeled after how people just live in the Mediterranean. If you look at them and you ask them, are you on a diet? They will say, no, this is just how we eat. And the emphasis is on unprocessed foods. So yes, they eat carbs, absolutely, but it's high quality whole grains. There's not a bunch of chemicals in there. They're making bread, they're making pasta. They know exactly what they put in there. And the fats are coming from olive oil, nuts, fatty fishes, plant-based nutrition is really the foundation. There's a heavy emphasis on fresh fruits and vegetables. But the reason it works for the long haul is it's not a fad diet. it's just a way of life.
Okay.
And it has things in moderation that you enjoy. So you do not feel like you're depriving or excluding parts of nutrition that you really you enjoy and indulging in occasionally.
So I think you can make this adaptation.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Instead of the big tomahawk steak, it's the little tenderloin steak. You know,
it's the portions. It's the portions.
Right.
Or it's a tomahawk steak once in a while, like on a holiday, and then you don't feel deprived and you enjoy it, and then you move on and go back to the lean meats for the rest of the month.
Right.
Yeah, well,
I think we messed up a little bit. I tried to cut back for the Easter meal a little bit because I got some complaints from the family that it's a little too much. You know, what we do is a little too much. So we actually did cut back, and I wonder now how I would measure it. I mean, you tell me, did I cut back? I mean, we ended up doing 6 courses. I eliminated the lasagna because it's a 25, 30-pound lasagna. It takes all day to make. But we lightened it up a little bit. We wanted to go easy. We started out with the smoked kielbasa, some Cerignola olives, some Belgioso mozzarella, homemade pickles, rosemary and sea salt potato chips. Then we got into the Polish Zurek soup. Then after that, we did the 6 cheese raviolis with the bolognese sauce. Then we did a 21-pound North Country smokehouse steamed strip ham, potato casserole, carrots, turnips, broccoli. We followed up with some pies, ice cream, and cannolis. And then we wrapped up with this 3-foot-tall chocolate Easter egg. We had all the grandkids break it up with the big hammer we used to pound the cutlets. I don't know. I mean, it seemed a little lighter this year. I don't know. Am I thinking it right, or I don't know?
So Al, we're just meeting today, but Mike knows me well. I come from a Sicilian family. So the holidays, all bets are off. So I can completely appreciate the 6 courses of indulgent food.
It's a wonder you're not. It's a wonder you're not comatose still.
After all of that, in the pasta and the olive oil the day after, right?
I just want to ask Dr. Suzanne, Andover Primary, the association with local hospitals. What is it?
So we're affiliated with Lawrence General locally. We're also affiliated with Beth Israel and Leahy Clinic.
Okay. So having Lawrence General Hospital so close to us in the Merrimack Valley, we're very, very fortunate. We really are.
We are.
I have nothing but good things to say about Lawrence General, to be honest with you. I just wanted to go back to, we're talking quite a bit about obesity and eating and everything else. And unfortunately, I injured my back seriously, as you know, when I was only 39 years old. And I was told that I needed surgery. So I went to a couple of other different hospitals in the Boston area to get other opinions. And I had one doctor, and he sent me his notes. I saw a copy of his notes. And he referred to me, Al, as portly. 39-year-old Caucasian, portly.
Is this an English guy, Mike?
Pull the dagger out. I mean, Jesus, it hurt. So everybody's very conscious of their weight. I mean, there's no question about it. But I see young preteens really overweight. And where's the parents' responsibility come in at that early age to try and teach them the right way of doing things?
Right. So I'm not a pediatrician, so I can give you advice as a mom, and I can also give you advice as the primary care doctor who receives the aftermath of a childhood like that. Being overweight, it does always catch up in some way. It catches up as cardiovascular disease, diabetes. I think another piece of it that is not talked about very much is the orthopedic downstream effects of being overweight as a young adult. You know, your joints do age much earlier than somebody who's of normal weight.
Okay.
I think the emphasis really needs to be on increasing activity and really taking away as much processed food from the diet as possible.
I've got a school bus that comes by my house and goes by Al's house. They just about stop at every house to pick up. Why can't the kids walk the end of the block and go down and have one general pickup? Then they wonder why. Al, we used to play baseball. We'd get together on a Saturday morning, a bunch of kids. We'd be out there till the lights went down. You know, I mean, the street lights would come on. It was time to go home. But we ran, we played, we did everything. Today, it's like, I don't even see the kids, you know, shooting hoops in the street anymore. They don't do much, at least in my opinion. And I think that's a problem that needs to be addressed here. I think kids have got to get more involved in sports and doing walking or doing things, but their parents have got to set the example. I mean, that's my 2 cents worth for what it's worth.
And
what do you think, Al?
having it become part of a lifestyle, like Dr. Suzanne said, is important. I know possibly, you know, the neighborhood you grew up in, Mike, it was a little different. You know, your people were running just to protect themselves from being attacked by others. And, you know, I know, like, you know, I don't want to say it was a poor neighborhood, but you know,
you're fresh.
Through the dog a bone, he'd signal for a fair catch, you know. You know, so I know it was tough. You know, you're in an affluent area here, you know, in Windham with many, you know, the neighborhood environment is a little bit different, and the expectations with nobody's running from an attacker here so much.
Roger Trudell, who's one of our listeners every week and adds a lot to the show. You've inspired him, Dr. Suzanne. You really have. So what he's doing right now is he's out in his garden and he's planting lettuce. I think that, Roger, I think that's a great idea. I really do. But
I think earlier he commented about olive oil. So there he goes. Some lettuce, drizzle some olive oil on. He's good to go.
You know something? You're quite an inspiration, girl. You really are. I love it. I love it. Let's talk briefly about telemedicine. I'm sure when you were going to school, you never realized the importance of how important telemedicine would be in everyday life. And that this virus, Al, you can see, you know, how we've had to correspond with doctors. Do you lose anything in a telemedicine interview with a patient?
So I have a deep appreciation for telemedicine. Because I practice up here, we were hit hard with COVID. And there was absolutely weeks and weeks of nonstop telemedicine visits where I was taking care of patients that had COVID, thought they had COVID, were exposed to COVID. And without telemedicine, I could not have safely helped them. So I have a deep appreciation for being able to do that. I'm hoping that it stays in some capacity once we're through this pandemic, because yes, you do lose the physical exam part of the exam, obviously, but those are the patients that I invite into the office. Okay. There are other patients that have opened up to me in ways that they never had prior over telemedicine.
Really?
And I think it's that they're comfortable in their own home, and you can learn a lot about somebody when you see them in their own environment, or when we're talking about something and they go and grab like a supplement or a piece of exercise equipment, bring it on the screen. They're like, what do you think about this? And people have absolutely shared things with me that would have never come up in the office.
Al, you have anything?
What's that, Mike?
Do you have a question for Dr. Suzanne?
No, I was going to say, I think one thing seriously that has come of it too is the efficiency of not having patients stacked up in a waiting room. So you're waiting half hour, 45 minutes beyond that appointment time because the physician is trying to give appropriate care to everybody. So the nice thing about the appointment for the telemedicine is you get the bing, and next thing you know, the person's on there and you're talking with the doctor. I've experienced it myself, and I think it's one of the very positive things that have come out of this experience with COVID.
Yeah, you know something, I agree with you on that. Absolutely, I agree with you. I'm thinking about the elderly, how much easier it is to be interviewed on a phone call or via Zoom or whatever. What do you normally use for your interviews, Dr. Sue?
So our medical record, our medical chart has a telemedicine feature built right in. Okay. So the patients just get a link and I see them like they're like part of their chart. It's very easy to use. Wow. And for people who don't have camera capability, will either use the phone by itself or FaceTime or Doximity over the telephone.
Annual physicals, how important?
So annual physicals got fallen by the wayside during the lockdown, and I'm glad that they're back, winding back up here, because the annual physical intention is to really focus on preventative health and keep people on track to have their cancer screenings done. I always think about it as I'm checking the things you can't feel, like blood pressure and cholesterol.
Okay. Dr. Suzanne, we're running out of time. Your segment is just about going to be concluded in another minute or so. But before we go, once again, you're located at?
63 Park Street in Andover.
And it's Andover Primary?
Andover Primary Care.
Are you accepting new patients?
Yes, I am.
Oh, cool. Well, you know something, you've got quite a few of our family members going to you in the last few months. It seems like I said earlier, a lot of primary doctors are getting to an age where they're retiring, and people have to kind of scurry around to try and find someone that they can relate to. I've seen your mannerisms up front firsthand. I love the way you deal with people. What's happened to medicine now, especially, at least in my opinion, sometimes you get the feeling you're nothing but a number, Al. I think you'd agree with me on that.
Definitely.
There's not the personal touch, but I've seen the way Dr. Suzanne operates and how she deals with people. And you know something, that's something that you can't teach, you can't learn. That's something you have to be born with. And to your credit, you're all right. You're all right in my books. Well, listen, once again, thank you for joining us here on the Sicilian Corner. It's been a pleasure to have you with us. Dr. Suzanne Sandin, everybody. Listen, take care of yourself. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back, and we're going to talk about Supersada. Never mind them. There we go. We'll be right back.
From the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things, and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites, and the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at NorthshorePavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Vinnie Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Vinnie is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner. Our co-host today, and I know he's a little bit under the weather, but I'm very proud of you, Grasshopper. You're doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
Letizio. There you go. Al, basically, we were talking about you're a food broker, wholesale food broker, correct?
Yes.
And your love for good beef is legendary. It really is. It's legendary. I mean, I'm surprised we don't have a picture of you out on Route 111 somewhere. That's probably going to come.
No.
I just want you to tell our Sicilian Corner listeners now, you have a test kitchen in your brand new building, which, by the way, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There isn't one thing I love your media room. Everything about it, the place is just first class all the way.
Thank you.
Tell people where it is. Is Michael? Michael?
Oh, did we lose you, Mike?
I think we lost his audio. We lost Michael's audio.
Okay.
Okay. Al, tell people where your place is. We talk about the place in the test kitchen. Where are you located?
Sure. AJ Letizio Enterprise Center is located in Windham, New Hampshire. It's right at the intersection of Route 111 and Route 93. There's the big stone tower that's located there. It's something that we built at the same time we built our building. And that is the sort of the landmark where our facility is located.
So when you had your opening, you had an opening ceremony just a few years ago, right?
We did. Yes, it was in August of 2019. Seems like a long time ago. Lots happened since then.
Do you remember there was a quartet there that sang?
Yes.
My wife was singing there.
Oh, she was wonderful. They sang the national anthem for us at the beginning. They did a wonderful job. We'd love to have them back again. We're going to have more events as soon as we're able to have gatherings there. We're planning on doing a big car show this summer.
Excellent.
We'd love to have her back again.
Yeah, that was great. She loved the experience. She said the place looks amazing. So,
the place, it really is. It is absolutely amazing. The question I had, Al, was your test kitchen, and we talked about this briefly, but I'd like our listeners to hear about this. The table, the table that you have, that slab, was it marble or granite?
It's marble, Mike, and we it's kind of like a culinary altar, is what we consider. Almost $1 million investment in the kitchen over there, but it's like the kitchen is the heart of a home. In our business, in the food industry, our test kitchen is the heart of our facility. It's the heart of our business because we're in the food business, so it's about business, but food is a passionate thing, and our chefs are very passionate about what they do. So this is like their performance stage. So when we were putting the place together, I tried to come up with something that would be a really good stage, a really good arena for them to perform in. So, you rack your brain doing this stuff. And we hired a consultant who was an amazing guy as far as his architectural stone background from Italy. Sent them over to Italy. We ended up with a giant piece of marble hewn from the same mine that the Statue of David was carved from in Carrara, Italy. It's 15 feet long. It's 50 inches wide. It weighs almost 5,000 pounds. And we brought it over on an Alitalia jet. And that is the beautiful white gleaming tabletop that we do all of our culinary work from. So it's a lot of
when you go to polish it, it must take you what? How long?
Mike, I'm going to tell you, there is a procedure that is involved with.
I know.
And you've been in there, so you know all of our seating is white leather. So it's almost, I hate to say it's the least practical thing to have in a commercial kitchen, but we want to keep that nice, beautiful, light look. And, we take the cleanliness of it very seriously and the sanitation, but to clean that marble, it's unbelievable the procedures you have to take. This marble is 4 inches thick, Mike. I mean, it's 4 inches thick.
Wow. So you got to and everything else.
Yeah, you got a problem. So I got the dottore. If I have a problem, he comes in from Revere and he fixes it for us. But the thing is, we don't want to create any problems. So we do a lot of food demonstrations on there, but we're caring for the table. But we have a lot of fun there, as you know. We make, and in the next couple of weeks, we'll be making the Supersada there again in the Copa. We've got some beef coming out of the dry ager next week. When that comes out, we're going to be ready. I'm ordering some of the supplies in today to make the Supersada. So that'll be about 5 weeks in the curing chamber for that. So it'll be ready in time for Greek Easter.
Are you still using the Himalayan salt brick as a aging agent, or
we do? We do. It's more. It imparts a certain ambiance in the aging chamber that gives it a feel like you're in a cave in Rome. I open the door. I keep looking around for some scrolls or something like that. I want to find something that's been tucked away by the apostles. But it really is effective. But it gives you that nice, perfect moisture level, perfect air movement level, and it really simulates the conditions that the ancient Italians would have used when they were making cave-aged products like prosciutto and Supersata. And so we're trying to recreate that also in an environment that is perfectly sanitary, and that we're not going to make anybody sick from what we make, but we're still keeping the traditions alive as to how it was done 100 or 1,000 years ago.
Al, Tommy just wrote in, him and Ellen just passed south of the border. I'm hoping he's going to stop off and pick up some fireworks, but now you can get fireworks. That Pedro says, Jesus, we'd be driving down to Florida and you see like 300 miles. All of a sudden you see a sign, 275 miles to south of the border. To me, it seemed like it took forever to get there. But Tommy's on his way back, like I said earlier, and we're dying to get back into the studio. We really are. David, you and I talked about that earlier.
Yes.
And it'll be nice to get back, some of the things that we're so accustomed to doing, and, and without having any glitches, but this has worked out fine. We've been doing shows from the house now for quite a while, and David's nice and safe, and I've been safe, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It really is.
Hey, did I see that Tommy just sent a message? You picked up a stuffed alligator along the way?
Yeah.
He loved alligator.
Bringing it home.
Bought a stuffed alligator. Beautiful.
Can't have enough. Can't have enough stuffed alligator. That's what I say. Hey, listen.
They're hard to get in the Merrimack Valley.
Yeah.
I don't think they're legal.
I wanted to ask you, I don't even know if you want to get into this, but I saw you sent me a video and your boys were with you. I believe Mr. Tessitore was with you.
Yes.
And you guys were aging a rib with butter.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, we're always trying some different things out. And as you know, we've done a lot of the dry aging of the beef and the curing of the meat. So we like to do things for exhibition, and we post them on our website at ajlatizio.com so that people can get to experience some of these extreme things. Like if you're a restaurateur, you might have dry aged beef, but you're not going to have 100-day-old dry aged beef. You have to sell the steaks for $250 each for, So this is a chance for us to do this stuff and try it and taste it and have fun with it. So the concept that you're talking about was something that Bob Tessitore.
It looked awful, by the way.
Yeah. Well, what we did was this was butter dipped aging. So we took the beef, USDA prime beef, which is the top 2% of all beef that's out there. So we must have had close to $10,000 worth of beef in there. We trimmed it all down, and then we got some amazing butter from our friends over at Cabot in Vermont.
Yep.
The best butter that you can eat, honestly. And we dipped the ribs after we got them trimmed. We dipped them in butter and coated them in like an inch of butter all the way around. So you got these big prime rib butter balls, beautifully aged, beautifully marbled beef, soaked in butter, and the butter hardens like a shell. And then we put them in the dry age.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it gets nice and hard. We put them in there. We're putting the butter on, and it's cracking a little bit as it's drying. So we have Mark DePercio join us, who's a real bakery guy and more of a pastry chef. So he's putting like the frosting on the beef, like with the butter, and it came out perfect. It did not turn out the way we had hoped, Mike. Did not turn out the way we had hoped. We thought we were going to get this beautiful aged beef encased in beautiful butter, but it did not work out the way we had hoped, and
it didn't look good, Al.
No,
I know
no.
you
What ended up
got
happening,
you got
in between the butter and the beef, and we had to end up trimming it down a lot to be able to get something that we could use. But the thing that did not show up in the video that I'll tell the listeners here that was really a problem is we had a malfunction in our equipment one night, and the refrigeration shut off for a couple of hours, and we didn't realize it, turned back on. And just that process of being out of refrigeration for a short period of time created a spoilage in the beef that wasn't really detected in the process until the end. And we ended up having to throw away just about all of it.
Oh.
So, yeah. Yep.
That hurts, man.
Yep.
That hurts.
But hey, trial and error. You know, the Wright brothers had several different attempts at flight before they got something that flew.
Now we're going to the Wright brothers? Really?
You know, we're going to go back. We're going to go back a little bit here in time and just get back to the basics with making the soppressata next week. Hopefully you and my dad can join us, you know, but no complaining. You know, if you got to work in there, you guys know, no belly aching like you usually do. After a half an hour, you're starting to have a pain in your arm or your sciatica or something like that. I mean, you know, I need you to work if you're there, Mike.
That hurts me. That hurts me.
You know,
you're cutting me to the quick.
Put that soppressata together with some nice mozzarella cheese from Belgioioso, and you get some of that Chipolletti's tomatoes from our neighborhood.
And
I mean, what's better than that?
We got Roger. We got Roger down the street. He's making all kinds of stuff for us. You mentioned Peter. Peter's growing 10 plants of peppers for me. I mentioned the fact last week that I like the red peppers. And he says, I'm putting 10 in for you. He said, I'll give you all the red peppers you want this year.
He cleared some of his property out to get the sun to shine in there better, right?
Well, that's why he knocked down 40 trees. I mean, the guy, it's amazing what he's done. Him and his wife, Jean, have really done a wonderful job cleaning
40
up.
varieties of tomatoes he's growing in his yard. I mean,
He's going to cut back. He's only going to do 79 this year.
That's great.
David, how are we on time, pal?
We have about 3 minutes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It was a pleasure having Dr. Suzanne Sadden on with us today. It really was. And David?
Yeah, it was excellent. It was excellent to have someone on and chat a little bit about medicine and stuff like that. It's good.
How come we don't see David? How come you don't have your picture up here with us?
I'm very shy. That's why.
You're very shy. You're shy, all right.
Yeah, I'm shy.
So, you know, it was some joke in there, Mike, with the, you know, here we are always talking about the extremes of the food business. And here you got Dr. Susan here. You know, it's like to reel us back into earth and you know, preserve our life on this earth for a little longer. But the thing about the Mediterranean diet that came out of there, I'm very encouraged about that. I'm very encouraged. And on a serious note, you know, you can still eat, enjoy all the beautiful things we enjoy at the holidays, and you just balance it out. And hopefully it's not a diet. Like she says, it's a way to live your life.
Yeah, especially with the breads. A lot of people are afraid of carbs. And I think if you're buying breads at your local bakery that are freshly made, that's not bad for you.
It's not. No.
It's absolutely not. You get that, some olive oil, some cheese. Oof.
I think what I'm going to do now, I'm throwing all my forks out of the house. And I'm going to try and operate and eat with chopsticks. Because by the time you get done eating a meal with chopsticks, it's time for your next meal. I mean, really, no wonder people in China, Korea, they're all so thin because they can't get that much food up to their mouth.
Now, you notice Marco Polo supposedly brought back the pasta, but he forgot about the chopsticks. He left those behind in the East, right?
That was intentional.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not good with chopsticks either. What about you, Al?
I'm okay with them.
I'm terrible.
I like Chinese food. Anything that involved getting food in, I learned to implement pretty quickly.
You figure it out, right? I like it.
What's on the agenda, David, for the weekend?
Let's see. Today, I might cook. I was actually going to cook pizza on the grill today.
On the grill?
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Al? What are you doing?
I'm going to be hanging out in my workspace here as I am sequestered for a little while, but life will be good.
I want to thank you very much. Once again, folks, Al's a little bit under the weather. His voice held up for the whole show, which I am very, very happy for. And once again, it's been a pleasure having all of you with us today.
Thank you, Mike. And
I've had a ball doing this show for almost 20 years with Tommy, and we both enjoy it very, very, very much. And hopefully we'll be back in the studio, David, pretty soon, right? Yep. Okay, listen, take care, everybody, and we wish you a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you for having me.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.
Ciao ciao. Buonanotte. A presto.
Ciao. C'è una luna a mezzo mare, mamma mia, mamma di dare. Figlia mia, cosa dare, mamma mia, pensate. Mamma la voglio che me voglio maritare. Ehi!